Are you planning a trip and just kind of wondering if there's something better out there than the same old hotel room? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're jumping into this amazing guide from REI Limited to really get a handle on the world of short-term rentals. All right, let's get into it. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to define what these rentals even are. Then, we'll look at all the different types out there so you can find your perfect fit. After that, we'll focus on why they're so great for work and family trips, share some smart tips for saving cash, and wrap up by looking at the bigger community impact. Okay, so first things first, let's get right down to it. What are we actually talking about when we say short-term rental and, why is everybody suddenly so into them?
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're on this vacation you've been waiting for, but you're literally tripping over your own suitcases. And the idea of eating out at another restaurant is just exhausting. That exact feeling, that's why so many people are looking for a completely different way to travel.
And here it is. A short-term rental is basically your home away from home. It's a fully furnished space, an apartment, a house that gives you a kitchen, a living room, and all the privacy and comfort that a hotel just can't match. The key takeaway is this. It's about having a real home base for your trip, not just a place to sleep. All right, now we get to the fun part. Let's dig into the incredible variety of rentals out there, because honestly, finding the one that's a perfect match for your trip is what makes this so cool. And this isn't for just one type of traveler. We're talking about folks who want to feel like they actually live in the city they're visiting, families who just need a little more elbow room, or business pros on a longer project. Heck, even people who are moving and are in between homes. There's really a rental for just about everyone. Now this is where it gets really interesting. This table just lays it all out. You've got everything from a simple, cost-effective apartment for a solo trip to huge family homes with a yard for the kids, and then you get into the really cool stuff like luxury villas or totally unique stays, think tree houses or boats. It really just comes down to what you're looking for, saving money, getting more space, or having a truly unforgettable experience. So, with all these choices, what are most people actually booking? This chart is pretty revealing. It shows the demand for each type of rental. You can see that family homes and business rentals are really popular, but there's one category that's just a little bit ahead of the pack. Any ideas what it might be? Yep, you guessed it, luxury rentals. It seems like when a lot of people step away from traditional hotels, they want to go all out. They're looking for that private pool, those incredible views, all the high-end perks, but with the total privacy you only get in your own space. It's about making a trip truly special. So let's build on that. We're going to zoom in on two of the biggest groups that are really pushing this trend forward, families and business travelers. Let's see exactly why this setup works so well for them. For families, this is an absolute game changer. Think about it. Separate bedrooms so the parents don't have to tiptoe around in the dark after the kids are asleep. Having a full kitchen saves a ton of money and is a lifesaver with picky eaters. It just lets the whole family stick to their routine and feel comfortable even when you're far from home. And it's a very similar story for professionals on the road. It's just smarter and way more comfortable. For any kind of extended trip, a rental is almost always more cost-effective than a hotel. You get a dedicated space to work that isn't your bed, you get real privacy for calls, and you get to stay in an actual neighborhood, which gives you a much better feel for the city. Okay, this all sounds great, but I know what you're thinking. Can I actually afford it? Well, this next part is all about practical, real-world tips to make sure you get an amazing deal. The big secret here is that just a little bit of planning can save you a lot. Traveling during the off-season, for example, can slash the price. Or try staying in a cool neighborhood just outside the main tourist hub. It's often cheaper and way more authentic. And here's a pro tip. A lot of hosts offer huge weekly or monthly discounts, so sometimes staying a little longer actually brings the price per night way down. And for our last section, let's pull the camera back, because this whole trend doesn't just affect travelers, right? It has a real, tangible impact on the neighborhoods and communities where these rentals exist. And there are really two sides to this coin. For homeowners, it can be a financial lifeline, helping them pay their mortgage or just make extra income. But on the other side, in really popular spots, it can make housing more expensive and harder to find for locals. The guide makes it clear that the key is finding a smart, healthy balance through thoughtful local rules. But at the end of the day, it really boils down to this one simple but powerful idea. The whole thing works beautifully when hosts are considerate of their neighbors and guests treat the property and the neighborhood with respect. It's a shared responsibility for sure. And this quote from the REIT guide just nails it. This isn't just some passing trend. When it's done right, when it's approached thoughtfully, short-term rentals are a really valuable and permanent part of how we travel and experience the world today.
So now that we've looked at everything from a cozy city apartment to a breathtaking luxury villa, the only question left is the one for you. What will your next stay look like? Thanks so much for joining me.